G'day guys, it's Good Friday and I'm down at Churnside Park here in Werribee, which is probably about a drop kick away from my joint. Great part of the world this, what a ground this is, and there is actually a game going on this morning between Vic Metro and Vic Country. I think it may be under 16 girls. I might hang around and have a bit of a look at that, but I'm not here to watch footy, at Churnside Park. I'm actually here to talk about our upcoming round 5 fixture against Port Adelaide at the MCG on Sunday afternoon. There's a fair bit of footy to be played out between. We get a chance to watch our team play on Sunday. So I'm actually genuinely excited about this compared to how I was dreading and really worried about going into the game against the Suns last weekend. Now, I'm excited not because I think we're going to get the chocolates and we're going to put Port Adelaide to the sword, who are struggling, who do appear to be on their knees. I'm actually more excited about, one, to see how we respond, but more importantly, I think for me, in that whole notion of trust and trying to trust this team of ours, is I've actually got no idea how we will respond after such a lethargic and poor performance last weekend. And for me, at the moment, that's really exciting to see what this team has to offer, to see what they're actually made of. And I think there's going to be a lot we can take out of this game, either way, whether it's a win or a loss. And right here, right now, that I'm really looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to see the way Port Adelaide respond as well, because there's no doubt that they're under the pump at zip and 4. Went into the start of the season as one of the premiership favourites, had a dreadful exit from the final series last year, and one of the worst final performances that I've seen a team play against the Western Bulldogs on their own ground. And they haven't started the season how they would have liked. I actually thought they were pretty impressive in round 1 against the Brisbane Lions. But post that, they definitely rolled the dice with injured players in round 2 against Hawthorn, and they were smashed accordingly. They went in with McKenzie with a severe knee injury and also Dersma with a shoulder injury. So they bring back Aaliyah and also bring back Robbie Gray, who are obviously very important players for them. But who knows? Are they fully fit? Are they rolling the dice with those two boys at the moment? Are they desperate? But what I do expect is this is a pretty proud team with a pretty proud coach. And I want them to throw the kitchen sink at us. I actually want to see what we're made of in this game. I really do. I don't want it to be a walk in the park for us because they haven't come to play. And I think Port Adelaide, in these circumstances, will enjoy the trip away together, the chance to bond, the chance to get away from the Adelaide Oval, and a chance to respond. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing a really, really fired up Port Adelaide against us on Sunday. I like the changes, I really do, and I know at this stage we still don't know the makeup of our team in regards to the extended bench, but we do know Luke Parks will play, and he's basically replaced Lockie Plowman. So it's a massive opportunity for Luke Parks. He showed a little bit in his first year last year, but at times, particularly in his last 2 games, he was well out of his depth in regards to and one of those games was against Port Adelaide, ironically. He's going to have to match up on some pretty fast and talented sort of forwards, either Georgiadis or Marshall. And he's going to have to play tight, and he's going to have to play aggressively. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing what Luke Parks has to offer down back. I fully expect Paddy Dow to play, I really do. I think his form has been exceptional at VFL level. But I thought against the Gold Coast Suns reserves last week, it was probably, out of all the pre-season games thus far in the VFL, it was probably his worst. But what he did do very well last week was use the ball by foot at the lower level. This for him, I'm looking forward to seeing what Paddy Dow is made of in regards to has he got the makeup to be an AFL footballer in regards to his attitude and his application? Because we know he has the talent, and the eyes are going to be on him in regards to his ball use. He is going to feel a fair bit of pressure and a fair bit of anxiety around that. So can he hit up? Can he hit up the 45? Can he use his kick to advantage? Because the eyes will be on him. We know what he can do well, but we also know what his deficiencies are. So the pressure is on. The pressure is on. It really is. Pick back in makes it interesting, because what did we do with TDK? I would like to see TDK play on Sunday and give him another opportunity as that third marking forward and giving a pinch hit out in the ruck. But he needs to make an impact. He really does. In the opportunities he gets, he needs to be engaged in the contest. Now, whether that is bringing the ball to the ground and not being outmarked inside our forward 50, or creating some opportunities by grabbing a few and clunking a few and going back and kicking truly, he needs to do that. Because what we do know with TDK is when he's given an opportunity in the ruck in small bursts, he does give us energy. It's what he's doing forward, has been the concern for me. The midfield. There's no doubt our midfield's been pumped up, in the first 3 games of the season. They've been outstanding. But last week, when Cripper went down, I thought we were exposed. Kennedy and Chera were poor by their standards. Kennedy's put together, a really consistent base over, I suppose, the last 12 months, but the weekend was a really poor outing for him. And Chera wouldn't want to put another game like that the second week running. So question marks will be there on those two if they don't perform. And I thought Walsh and Hewitt were serviceable. But when you look at that quartet, and chuck in Dow if he plays as well, if you look at that quartet without Cripps, you start to ask questions. Is that 4 without Cripps? Will that get the job done? That's a massive challenge. And I know Wines is out and that evens itself out somewhat. But what we do know is Port Adelaide's midfield is pretty bloody solid. Boak, and the one that really worries me is Zach Butters. He's due for a really, really good game, and he is dangerous. With his speed. And one thing we do, I suppose, lack through that midfield is genuine leg speed. And we know Zach Butters has got that in spades, so he will need to be watched. I suppose for me, though, when I really think about this game without Patrick Cripps and the challenges we face, maybe not just this week, but also over the coming weeks, if we do decide to put him on ice and make sure that he is ready, is our next layer of leadership. Now, we've gone for the 3-tier leadership group with Cripper and Walsh and Jacob Wiedering as vice captains. Wiedering in particular is an interesting one for me. Now, he would have aspirations of being captain of this football club moving forward. Tomorrow's such a big opportunity for him, a really, really big opportunity for him. To stamp his imprimatur on this game physically. Not just doing what he does well, which is defending, but physically. Right here, right now, is Jacob Wiedering just a nice, well-spoken young man? Or has he got some real grunt in him? And it's time to show it, mate. It's time to show it, because right here, right now, I have questions around Jacob Wiedering. Not so much Sam Walsh, he's a little bit wangler, but questions around Jacob Wiedering, whether he has that in him. We need to start seeing it. And finally, the most fascinating thing about this contest against Port Adelaide, I think we play similar types of football, is the coach's box. Hinkley under the pump, and I think for the first time, Michael Voss under the pump as well. 7 years Michael Voss spent at Alberton Oval as an assistant coach, and more importantly as a midfield coach at Port Adelaide. He more than anyone would know this Port Adelaide group. He more than anyone would know who, for example, someone like William Drew, who I really rate as a player. He goes under the guard, but as a run-with player, a real hard-nosed run-with player, he will know okay, who Drew will go to. So what will Michael Voss bring to the table this weekend? What does he know about the team that he sent, or the club that he spent 7 years at? What does he know about Hinkley, the way Hinkley operates? What can he change up? Because we are becoming just a little bit predictable. And what we do know is Hinkley knows. He knows Voss as well as Voss knows Hinkley. And he will also look at our game plan and what we do and what we would like to do in regards to getting that ball long and high inside our forward 50 to our tall marking options. Can we? Is Voss capable of changing things up? Obviously, it's up to the players to execute any type of game plan. And one thing that sticks in my mind, which I haven't fucking forgotten, and Voss would have been part of this last year as well. Not only that thumping at the Adelaide Oval, which I mentioned before, but the game at the MCG earlier on in the year, around about this time last year, when Ken Hinkley said in his press conference, and I'll never forget this, he said in his press conference at half time, with almost a bit of a smug look on his face, and Port led, they led by 20 odd points at half time. He basically said with only 20 points up at half time that they knew halfway through the second quarter that they basically had us on toast. They knew they had us beaten. They knew they had us on toast. That's how much disrespect Ken Hinkley and Michael Voss, because he was part of that, showed us last year. That's how much disrespect they showed us last year. So what have we fucking learnt since then? Okay? What can we take into this game that's going to be different to what we did last year? That's the big question for me going into this game. Speak soon.